Yirmiyahu, or Jeremiah, chapters 32 through 34. The word that came to Yirmiyahu from Yehovah in the 10th year of Tzidkiyahu, sovereign of Yehuda, which was the 18th year of Nebuchadrezzar. Now at that time the army of the sovereign of Babel besieged Jerusalem, and Yirmiyahu the prophet was shut up in the court of the guard, which was in the house of the sovereign of Yehuda. For Tzidkiyahu, sovereign of Yehuda, had shut him up, saying, "Why are you prophesying against me, saying, Thus said Yehovah, see, I'm giving this city into the hand of the sovereign of Babel, and he shall take it. And Tzidkiyahu, sovereign of Yehuda, shall not escape from the hand of the Kasdim, but certainly be given into the hand of the sovereign of Babel, and shall speak with him face to face, and see him eye to eye, and he shall lead Tzidkiyahu to Babel, and be there until I visit him, declares Yehovah. Though you fight with the Kasdim, ye shall not prosper." And Yirmiyahu said, "The word of Yehovah came to me, saying, See, Hanamael, son of Shallum, your uncle is coming to you, saying, Buy my field, which is in Anathoth, for the right of redemption is yours to buy it." So Hanamael, my uncle's son, came to me in the court of the guard according to the word of Yehovah, and said to me, "Please buy my field that is in Anathoth, which is in the land of Benjamin, for the right of inheritance is yours, and the redemption. Buy it for yourself." And I knew this was the word of Yehovah. And I bought the field which was at Anathoth from Hanamael, my uncle's son, and weighed out him the silver, 17 shekels of silver. And I signed the deed and sealed it, took witnesses, and weighed the silver in the scales. Then I took the deed of purchase, that which was sealed according to the command and law, and that which was open. And I gave the deed of purchase to Baruch, son of Neriah, son of Maaseiah, in the presence of Hanamael, my uncle's son, and in the presence of the witnesses who signed the deed of purchase before all the Yehudim who sat in the court of the guard. And I commanded Baruch before their eyes, saying, "Thus said Yehovah of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, take these deeds, both this deed of purchase which is sealed, and this deed which is open, and put them in an earthen vessel, so they remain many days. For thus said Yehovah of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, houses and fields and vineyards shall again be bought in this land." And after I had given the deed of purchase to Baruch, son of Neriah, I prayed to Yehovah, saying, Master Yehovah, see, you've made the heavens and the earth by your great power and outstretched arm. There's no matter too hard for you. You who show loving commitment to thousands and repay the crookedness of the fathers into the bosom of their children after them. The great, the mighty El, Yehovah of hosts is his name. Great in counsel and mighty in work, your eyes are open to all the ways of the sons of men, to give everyone according to his ways and according to the fruit of his deeds. For you have set signs and wonders in the land of Mitzrayim to this day, and in Israel, and among other men, and you have made yourself a name, as it is this day. And you have brought your people Israel out of the land of Mitzrayim with signs and wonders, with a great strong hand and outstretched arm, and with great fearsome deeds. And you gave them this land, of which you swore to their fathers to give them a land flowing with milk and honey. And they came in and possessed it. But they did not obey your voice, nor did they walk in your Torah. They did not do all that you commanded them to do, so you brought all this evil upon them. See the siege mounds. They've come to the city to take it, and the city has been given into the hand of the Kasdim, who fight against it because of the sword and the scarcity of food, and the pestilence. And what you have spoken has come about. And look, you see it. Yet you, O Master Yehovah, has said to me, buy the field for silver and take witnesses, although the city has been given into the hand of the Kasdim. Then the word of Yehovah came to Yirmiyahu, saying, see, I am Yehovah, the Elohim of all flesh. Is there any matter too hard for me? Therefore thus said Yehovah, see, I'm giving the city into the hand of the Kasdim, into the hand of Nebuchadrezzar, sovereign of Babel, and he shall take it. And the Kasdim who fight against this city shall come and set fire to the city and burn it, with the houses on whose roofs they burned incense to Baal and poured out drink offerings to other mighty ones to provoke me. For the children of Israel and the children of Yehudah have done only evil before me from their youth. For the children of Israel have only provoked me with the work of their hands, declares Yehovah. For this city has been a cause for my displeasure and my wrath from the day that they built it, even to this day that I should remove it from before my face. Because of all the evil of the children of Israel and the children of Yehudah, which they've done to provoke me, they, their sovereigns, their heads, their priests, their prophets, and the men of Yehudah, and the inhabitants of Jerusalem. And they've not turned their backs and their face. They not turned them to me. Though I taught them, rising up early and teaching them, they did not listen to receive instruction. And they set their abominations in the house, which is called by my name, to defile it. And they built the high places of Baal, which are in the valley of the son of Hinnom, to offer up their sons and their daughters to Molech, which I did not command them, nor did it come into my heart that they should do this abomination, to make Yehudah sin. And now thus said Yehovah, the Elohim of Israel, concerning this city of which you say, it shall be given into the hand of the sovereign of Babel by the sword, and by scarcity of food, and by pestilence. See, I'm gathering them out of all the lands where I've driven them in my displeasure, and in my wrath, and in my great rage, and I shall bring them back to this place, and let them dwell in safety. And they shall be my people, and I shall be their Elohim. And I shall give them one heart and one way to fear me all the days, for the good of them and of their children after them. And I shall make an everlasting covenant with them, that I do not turn back from doing good to them. And I shall put my fear in their hearts, so as not to turn aside from me. And I shall rejoice over them to do good to them, and shall plant them in this land in truth, with all my heart and with all my being. For thus said Yehovah, as I have brought all this great evil on this people, so I am bringing on them all the good that I am speaking to them. And fields shall be bought in this land of which you're saying it's a wasteland without man or beast. It's been given into the hand of the Kasdim. Fields shall be bought for silver, and deeds signed and sealed, and witnesses be called in the land of Benjamin, and in the places around Jerusalem, and in the cities of Yehudah, and in the cities of the mountains, and in the cities of the low country, and in the cities of the south, for I shall turn back their captivity. Chapter 33. And the word of Yehovah came to Yirmiyahu a second time while he was shut up in the court of the guard, saying, thus said Yehovah, who made it, Yehovah, who formed it to establish it, Yehovah is his name. Call unto me, and I shall answer you, and show you great and inaccessible matters which you've not known. For thus said Yehovah, the Elohim of Israel, concerning the houses of this city, and the house of the sovereigns of Yehudah, which are thrown down against the siege mounds and the sword, while coming to fight with the Kasdim, and to fill their places with the corpses of men whom I shall strike in my displeasure and my wrath, for all whose evil have hidden my face from the city. See, I'm bringing to it relief and healing, and I shall heal them and reveal to them the riches of peace and truth. And I shall turn back the captivity of Yehuda and the captivity of Israel, and shall build them as at the first, and shall cleanse them from all their crookedness that they've sinned against me, and I shall pardon their crookednesses that they've sinned, and by which they've transgressed against me. And it shall be to me a name of joy, a praise, a pride before all nations of the earth who hear all the good I am doing to them, and they shall fear and tremble for all the goodness and all the peace I'm doing to it. Thus said Yehovah, in this place of which you say it's dried up, without man and without beast, in the cities of Yehuda, in the streets of Jerusalem that are deserted, without man and without inhabitant, and without beast, there shall once again be heard the voice of joy and the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride, the voice of those who are saying, Praise Yehovah of hosts, for Yehovah is good, for his loving commitment is forever, of those who are bringing the offering of praise into the house of Yehovah. For I shall turn back the captivity of the land as at the first, declares Yehovah. Thus said Yehovah of hosts, in this place which is dried up, without man and without beast, and in all its cities, there shall once again be a home of shepherds, causing their flocks to lie down. In the cities of the mountains, in the cities of the low country, and in the cities of the south, and in the land of Benjamin, and in the places around Jerusalem, and in the cities of Yehuda, the flocks once again pass under the hands of him who counts them, declares Yehovah. See, the days are coming, declares Yehovah, when I shall establish the good word which I've promised to the house of Israel and the house of Yehuda. In those days and at that time, I cause a branch of righteousness to spring forth for David, and he shall do right ruling and righteousness in the earth. In those days Yehuda shall be saved, and Jerusalem dwell in safety. And this is that which shall be proclaimed to her. Yehovah, our righteousness. For thus said Yehovah, for David there is not to cease a man to sit on the throne of the house of Israel. And for the priests, the Levites, there is not to cease a man to offer ascending offerings before me, to kindle grain offerings, and to slaughter continually. And the word of Yehovah came to Jeremiah, saying, Thus said Yehovah, if you could break my covenant with the day and my covenant with the night, so that there not be night and day in their season, then my covenant could also be broken with David my servant, so that he shall not have a son to reign upon his throne, and with the Levites, the priests, my attendants. As the host of the heavens is not counted, nor the sand of the sea measured, so I increase the descendants of David, my servant, and the Levites who attend upon me. And the word of Yehovah came to Jeremiah, saying, Have you not observed what these people have spoken, saying, The two clans which Yehovah have chosen have been rejected by him? So they have despised my people, no more to be a nation before them. Thus said Yehovah, if my covenant is not with day and night, and if I have not appointed the laws of the heavens and the earth, then I would also reject the descendants of Yaakov and David, my servant, so that I should not take of his descendants to be rulers over the descendants of Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. For I shall turn back their captivity and have compassion on them. Chapter 34. The word which came to Yirmiyahu from Yehovah when Nebuchadnezzar, sovereign of Babel, and all his army and all the reigns of the earth under his rule, and all the people fought against Jerusalem and all its cities, saying, Thus said Yehovah, the Elohim of Israel, Go and speak to Tzidkiyahu, sovereign of Yehuda, and say to him, Thus said Yehovah, See, I'm giving this city into the hand of the sovereign of Babel, and he shall burn it with fire, and you shall not escape out of his hand, but certainly you shall be taken and given into his hand. And your eyes shall see the eyes of the sovereign of Babel, and his mouth shall speak with your mouth, and you shall go to Babel. But hear the word of Yehovah, O Tzidkiyahu, sovereign of Yehuda. Thus said Yehovah concerning you, You shall not die by the sword. In peace you are to die, and, as in the burnings of spices for your fathers, the former sovereigns who were before you, so they shall burn spices for you, and lament for you, saying, Alas, Master! For I have spoken the word, declares Yehovah. And Yirmiyahu the prophet spoke all these words to Tzidkiyahu, sovereign of Yehuda, in Jerusalem, while the sovereign of Babel's army was fighting against Jerusalem and all the cities of Yehuda that were left against Lachish and Azekah. For only these walled cities remain of the cities of Yehuda. The word which came to Yirmiyahu from Yehovah, thus after sovereign Tzidkiyahu had made a covenant with all the people who were at Jerusalem to proclaim release to them, that every one was to set free his male and female slave, the Hebrew man and the Hebrew woman. No one was to keep a Yehudi, his brother, enslaved. And when all the heads and all the people who had come into the covenant heard that each one was to set free his male and female slaves, and not to keep them enslaved any longer, they obeyed and released them. But afterward they changed their minds and made the male and female slaves return whom they'd set free, and brought them into subjection as male and female slaves. Therefore the word of Yehovah came to Yirmiyahu from Yehovah, saying, Thus said Yehovah, the Elohim of Israel, I myself made a covenant with your fathers in the day I brought them out of the land of Mitzrayim, out of the house of bondage, saying, At the end of 7 years each one should set free his Hebrew brother who's been sold to him. And when he served you 6 years, you shall let him go free from you. But your fathers did not obey me, nor incline their ear. And you recently turned and did what was right in my eyes, each man proclaiming release to his neighbor, and you made a covenant before me in the house which is called by my name. But you turned back and profaned my name, and each one of you took his male and female slaves, whom he had set free at their pleasure, and brought them into subjection to be your male and female slaves again. Therefore, thus said Yehovah, you've not obeyed me in proclaiming release, each one to his brother and each one to his neighbor. See, I am proclaiming release to you, declares Yehovah. Release to the sword, and to pestilence, and to the scarcity of food. I shall make you a horror to all the reigns of the earth, and I shall give the men who are transgressing my covenant, who've not established the words of the covenant which they made before me, when they cut the calf in two and passed between the parts of it, the heads of Yehuda, the heads of Jerusalem, the eunuchs, the priests, all the people of the land who passed between the parts of the calf. And I shall give them into the hand of their enemies and into the hand of those who seek their life, and their corpses be for food to the birds of the heavens and the beasts of the earth. And I shall give Tzidkiyahu, sovereign of Yehuda, and his heads into the hand of their enemies, and into the hand of those who seek their life, and into the hand of the sovereign of Babel's army that has withdrawn from you. See, I am commanding, declares Yehovah, and shall bring them back to this city, and they shall fight against it, and take it, and burn it with fire. And I shall make the cities of Yehuda a ruin without inhabitant.